If you were to ask the average person on the street what to do about a drinking problem, 97% are going to say Alcoholics Anonymous. It's what we know. It's part of our culture, has been for many decades, since the 1930s. It's just what people know. Many people don't even know that there's other ways to get sober. Most people don't know that the most frequent way that people achieve sobriety is just on their own. The reason they don't know about it is because people do it on their own, and so they don't have support groups, and they're not, there's nowhere to be vocal about it. They just stop drinking. That is the number one way. Another thing that most people don't know is that AA success rate is only about 10%. Now, that's hard to quantify exactly because AA is an anonymous program, so they don't do their own research, but independent surveys have found that the success rate is only about 10%. Now, that is not a high number by any metric. If you had a medicine or a treatment or, some kind of therapy that only worked 10%, that's not a high number by any metric. So, unfortunately, almost all of the recovery community, whether it's therapy or rehabs in the United States, so much of it is 12-step based and has its roots in Alcoholics Anonymous that it's just pervasive everywhere. Well, if we're ever going to change the abysmal state of recovery and sobriety, I don't think that there's ever going to be any one particular program that has 90% success rate, or maybe not even 50%. But what would work is if we have multiple ways to get sober and don't pigeonhole any one of those ways as the only way. And that's my biggest critique of Alcoholics Anonymous, is this pervasive idea that it's the only way to get sober. I think people are waking up to the fact that you don't need AA to get sober. Now, if you use AA, if you're a proud AA member and that works for you, awesome. I would never tell you to do anything different. I wouldn't tell you to leave. I say stick with what works. Awesome. You might be the 1 in 10, people that it works for. However, for 90% of us that it didn't work for, and trust me, I went to probably around 1,000 AA meetings, and it just never worked for me. And then I heard something in AA that doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result is a definition of insanity. Now, when I heard it in AA, of course, they were talking about drinking, but I applied that to going to AA itself. If I keep going to AA and I'm not staying sober, clearly if I keep doing it, I'm insane. The problem is, in AA, they tell you these two things over and over again. One is it works if you work it, which sounds positive, but it also implies that if it didn't work, it's not the program's fault, it's you. So you didn't work it hard enough or the right way. And the other thing they say is keep coming back. Keep coming back. Now, I don't think you should give up easily or go to one AA meeting if that's a path you want to take. By all means, try AA for a while. See if it works for you. Go back to meetings. But if you go back over the course of years and hundreds of meetings, as I did, and it's not working, at some point, you gotta realize the program ain't working for you. If I tried a medication that failed as many times as AA did for me, I would be telling my doctor, this medication doesn't work. So I think it's important that the vast majority of people out there know that AA is not the only way to get sober. It only has a 10% success rate. And the way that we're going to get more people to stay sober is to offer different methods of sobriety that resonate with the individual. And AA just doesn't resonate with 100% of people.